Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, the 28th of July, 2022, and I decided to switch it up a little bit with the look here, but still talk about some like random serious topics. Still in the news, obviously, very passionate about this, but the World Economic Forum, WEF, and just how heavily aligned Canadians, well, not Canadians, but Canada is with this corrupt criminal organization. And the reason why I keep bringing this up is like these are not new organizations. These are very old, and if we look at examples of multiple different areas of Africa or even Syria, for example, as another recent example, if you don't want to look to Africa, um, they became impoverished for various different reasons, whether it be man-made or natural disasters. Which again, since the 1950s, we've openly admitted that there's weather modification and manipulation and all those other things, and so after 70 years, you just get more advanced, right? And I've also said that we've been more advanced in ancient times and go through these cycles and resets, depending on these factors like I'm talking about now, and then we evolve again. And so yeah, and so WEF targets and exploits these countries, right, when they are impoverished, when they're dealing with like fear and so many other things, right, like third world countries and beyond. And as soon as they go in, they're only going to the ones that have resources, right? And so then they control and manipulate and dictate what these countries do, and within a very short period of time, they are even worse off than they were. And unfortunately, some of these countries were actually getting out of of inflation or recession periods, or periods of like internal conflict or external conflict based on like the region that you're in, like Hungary, I'm thinking of, in Ukraine, for example, because those are examples that I gave to our government and people last year when I talked about their government and their platform that they've been dealing with, and how they've been able to get out of like periods of duress and make their economy better, make their the defense and security better, quality of life, and all these things. And now it's ironic that Ukraine was one of these that I was talking about, even though there's money laundering and was money laundering through various different countries, and bio labs and so many other things, and again, like very strong lineage and like ancestral lineage with bordering regions, including Russia. And again, the Soviet collapse only in 1991, within a region that's bordering another region where there's just like a lot of like family ties too, right? And my example to that is Ottawa and and Montreal, for example, so close. They border each other, but within like a couple of hours of the border, um, people speak French or people speak English. But well, I mean, the reality is like most people are bilingual in these areas, or should be to function. Moi aussi, je parle français. Donc, je peux faire des interviews, des choses comme ça en français aussi, si tu veux. En tout cas. Um, but yeah, and so there's going to be people that are going to be aligned with others that you might not expect, right? And that's what's been going on in various areas too, and why I was saying that it's not a good idea for us to be involved in WEF. Canada is the second biggest country, allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not. It's based on having to trust governments that lie to us, and scientists that lie to us, and doctors that lie to us about so many different things. And I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or it's because they literally don't know what they're talking about. But the frustrating thing is like even like this flat Earth stuff that I've been discussing as well, and being of like a holographic reality, and discussing so many points on G-force even, and how like astronauts are somehow like not impacted by G-force, even like when or even these people that are traveling like oh my god, the name escapes me right now. William Shatner. Oh my god, I can't believe I almost forgot his name. And he's Canadian too. Yeah, going into space, right? Like this would be an impossible feat for someone of his like age and health. And like having no issues when you were going up, and all these people getting photos, and Chris Hadfield, these are liars, right? And they're talking in these spacecrafts that they're going, or these rockets, I mean, into space, or these shuttle like space stations and all these things. But like and anyways, it's all lied. We're being manipulated, we're being lied about, um and all of these edited like footage and videos, like they're being more released. And so I'll share another link on this YouTube video. But there's really good content out there and also to like explore these things for yourself, right? Where you can like debunk like a lot of this globe Earth theory. Like I'm like again, like it's because I've believed in this theory for most of my life. It's really hard for me to unpack like a lot of different things, right? To discuss when I like again with gravity and G-force and being stationary versus being like rotating, and like the constellations having more of an impact than we are led to believe. And that even in Arizona and Grand Canyon areas, like these are places that were possibly um, covered over, like infrastructure and cathedrals and whatever else, and then completely blocked off like areas where we can like get access to the entrance or underneath where people used to live. And there's even like the Orion's belt and like the Orion constellation that is very similar, like the patterns of like where these temples and like these pyramid designs or whatever are in Arizona or the Grand Canyon, and very similar to, if not like almost exactly like depending on the location of the where you are in the world, but like in Egypt as well, right? Where with the pyramids there, and then there's other countries as well where where these designs are they line up with the constellations, and then sun and moon temples, and like I've said before about the sun being more like closer, and the moon as well, and like and rotating within this firmament, and impacting us on a electrical magnetic level through toroidal fields and stuff like that, and what causes the winds too. I forgot to mention that yesterday as well. Like I mentioned like the ebb and flow of water, the tides and stuff like that. But even when I travel east to west or west to east in Canada, like when you go to like quote unquote like the center of the country, and then you make a line down from where like geographic or magnetic north would be, and then follow it down to where the south would be. In that area too, like there's like heavier winds, right? And they travel from north to south, and so like fields or whatever, like maybe this is what's causing the wind too. So like these and then when you go in different areas, like let's say like I'm like my energy field goes out like this. Well, I mean for like my whole body, right? And it goes like in the ground, and it goes above the ground as well. And and so these larger energetic designs, or whatever you want to call it, certainly would impact constantly, impact us constantly. And so going back to WEF, because I went a way big tangent, but like we have a lot of resources in Canada. We have a lot of water, we have a lot of wood, we have a lot of like agriculture areas, we have a lot of land, we have a lot of like we have so much, right? And then in our northern area, right, if we can gain access to the North Pole through Canada, then this could possibly be an area where we can freely like see if like the center of the earth or whatever is just to the north of us, and that's something that I definitely want to do, because I have so many different questions now with what I perceive the world to be, and it could be that that's the North Pole, or the like the center of the earth could also possibly be where we're considering the South Pole, where the that Amundsen U.S. like station is, or whatever you want to call it, in the South Pole, that they call like Agartha, and like so many different things as well, where there's like an inner Earth underneath in that area as well. And then when I search Google Earth, not Google Maps, but Google Earth, like there's a sun reflection in that area, and then a shadow, and then you can zoom in, and there's the anyway, it's all interesting. But Google Earth, obviously, there's like that's all censored as well, and we're not given even like the amount of land mass that's actually on Earth. So, and they cover up mountains in certain areas, and other like cities and places, like that's like some of those things are covered up. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true, because there are people that do comparisons with Google Earth when they travel to other areas, and they say like, bro, like there should be mountains here and there's not, and then vice versa, and so a lot more things are being debunked as well, just by virtue of people going out and traveling, and then being able to have a phone, a smartphone, like everyone like has now, and then just like upload online, and sometimes they stick, and then sometimes they don't. But there's a lot of information again that gets removed within a 24-hour period of being uploaded on various platforms, and it's because they don't want this information to come out, because there's a lot of money in it, right? There's like even our media, like our legacy media, like Bell Media with CBC and Global, all these are the same. I've given so many comparisons of media organizations throughout, and like how it's exactly the same sentences and exactly the same scripts, and it's all from the same script writer, right? And we need to pay attention to these things more. Oh my goodness. Anyway, and then know our more ancient past more, right? And like still talking with a lot of people that are very like ecclesiastic in their thought processes and stuff like that. And I am a very spiritual person, but like I do think that like if we're gonna be, you know, dead set on like a certain religions being like the superior religion, I'm not about that, and I'm getting more and more of that, like whatever side you're on. And because even like with the Christian religion, and I don't want people to hate me for this, but like it was originally called Staros apparently. Like there's been like we have to look at entomology more, and the derivative of words and where they came from, and like how like they became connected and why. And then we'll get a lot more, and then how they were understood at that time, right? Because there's even words and sayings that we have today that even 100 years ago it means different things, right? And so we have to pay attention to those things as well. And but yeah, like with these resets and stuff like that, like even NASA, and I've shared this on my Instagram and things like that, but like they talk about the end of the world being 2106. and and so why does NASA say that? Like I screen captured it on their site. I'm like, why? What is this? Why? And then I ask about like the phoenix and the phoenix symbology and why we see that everywhere, and why there's like ancient texts and hieroglyphs on like red skies and now there's blue skies, and how you know, sometimes there's white. Oh yeah, like even the sun, like if it follows this like this light path of the different spectrum of colors, and we're getting into the hotter sun being more white, then this could be a time too where like we're going through like another like environmental change, and I don't know. I wanted to talk on like 666 and how, and then how it connects to Fibonacci's design, and the Fibonacci code, and like and then sacred geometry, and how like that also like relates to like so many different things, and like waves and frequencies, and then just like how our universe is kind of like designed as well. So if you look at even like patterns that are given to us, like there's these looks like this, right? And so, and yes, like I'm wondering if that's just like the 666 is just like maybe not like so evil, like in our like, depending on where you come from, but like maybe it's just like a more hidden symbology of like this is the way, like our sacred geometry, this is the way our design goes. And then even with like the number 7 or L, like these are all L meaning mighty leader in some like different languages, and the number 7 being very sacred. But like if you like do a number 7, like I do weird things. I keep doing the same thing. If you write a number 7, and also 4 is also like a sacred, right? So if you do a 7, it's going to be reversed, but then I write a 7, and then I do another 7, and then I do another 7 4 times, and then I do it like north, south, east, west, or you know, like up, down, left, right, whatever you want to call it. But like, look, this is what it looks like. And so, and then even with the 6s, if you keep on going down, it's a spiral. Anyway, and so maybe these are, and if I get like if this gets taken down because of that, like I don't know what to tell you. Like this stuff frustrates me so much. I'll literally edit this video. I will take this clip and then I'll share it, and I'll be like, this is why I got taken down, because like I'm trying to give a different perspective on even hidden symbology, and resets and stuff like that. So yeah, I already talked about WEF, and how like whenever they get involved with different countries, it's usually when they want to exploit them, and it's never worked out good at all for any of the countries that they've been involved in. And actually there is crimes against humanity in every single case, and I'm not even joking about that. It's awful. And this is why, like, so this is why at the beginning I'm like, like I don't want WEF in here. Like, why are we saying this is a good thing? Like, why is Klaus Schwab's, like, whatever his freaking name is, like, why is his book, like I, like, it's ridiculous. And like even his Harari or whatever his freaking name is, like the guy that wrote Homo Deus and Sapiens, like these people are so far removed from anything beyond like basic human desire, and temptation and greed and profit, that they don't look beyond that, like for like more like intelligent like thought processes and spirituality, right? And and it's because of what they do on their personal time. And I won't get too much into it, but like criminals, or just like they don't understand the human body at all. Mind, body, and soul just do not understand it, nor do they care. And they would rather us be treated like we treat like a lot of the animals that we consume and stuff like that with what we do, which is also appalling. Like putting them in these small little areas where they're injected with steroids and chemicals and antibiotics, like they're for their whole miserable existence, like not knowing anything beyond that, and then being slaughtered for us, right? And like living these weird, like it's like shortened lifespans, like where it's accelerated growth in order to make more food for obese people, because most of North America is obese, overweight or obese now. And and the reason why I talk about this stuff, it's because it not only hurts us clearly, but it's hurting our country, like the environment, and it's also hurting these animals that are also sacred beings on Earth. And so like that's why like life can be hard, and yes, we do need to make decisions and choices sometimes that do cause harm, but we need to balance that and manage that. And so yeah, like the less killing the better, right? Obviously, I feel like this is like pretty straightforward. And yeah, when we talk about electricity, like I've talked about that the last few days. um, but even like these grounding antennas and designs that we have in different buildings, but also in mountains, like I do think that these are like well, I mean, this is like what grounds electricity, and it hits these rods and different devices that cause different types of like impact, I guess, on the environment. But like maybe like what's underneath these antennas, right? Like maybe there's old like runes or designs of anyways, old ruins and castles, or infrastructure, or you name it, like underneath these mountains. And I'm really curious about this more and more. I just want to make sure that I get through everything, because like what else are we talking about in the news? Oh my God, they're talking about the January 6th thing again. And again, this was staged, planned, manipulated in order to like we politicize violence all the time. And I know this sounds crazy to some people, but like when I've given just way too many examples, like even that predate things, then like it just like we should start paying attention to it. So like whenever the media starts pushing a different agenda, whether it be like climate change or potential war or potential pandemic or whatever, they make us like induced in fear, and then like needing some kind of like a solution, and the solution that they give is already something that they've already planned like in advance. Like it's controlled chaos, and they do it to keep us stuck and like to keep them profiting, and it's really really annoying. And so like we're talking about climate change now, something I'm wondering what big natural like climate disaster is going to happen, right, in order for them to justify everything that they've been doing. And all the price increases, by the way, and everything, it's not because of climate or the pandemic or anything like that. It was because of our leadership and their response to life. and and that's put us in this mess. And so if like we have like we're already struggling now with our economy, it's not looking good. And then we have people like Chrystia Freeland that's saying like, oh good, gas is expensive, well, and maybe like you'll think about like being better for the environment, like every time you fill up your vehicle. Like what, lady? Like people need to use their vehicle to go to work, for so many different reasons too. And your actions and decisions being a complete moron with and like not looking at things that I've emailed you, Christia. Like I've emailed you, look at your emails. Like um I've like even looking like this, like I'm giving you like medical, governmental, scientific data, like from even the original trials, like I've shared with people as well, that and then economic stuff, and then governmental data as well. Like I've given like the like so much to, and and it's assessments based on countries that have gone through like different periods and did well based on their different policies and measures, and like even like defense with like bordering regions and stuff like that. Like things are very interesting depending on where you go and where uh yeah, anyway. And so people like this have no idea, right? Because they're so ingrained or brainwashed into being like one party or one like identify as like, you know, like liberal or leftist, in my humble opinion, is what these people are. And they can't go beyond that, right? So like if they see any if there's any ideas or any opinions on any from any other, you know, person, then they don't take it into consideration. And this is terrifying to me. This is scary stuff, because we need to have people that are flexible and that are able to adapt and overcome also with our leadership. And we definitely don't see that. Ugh, God, it just frustrates me. But and that's what they wanted to do for the Freedom Convoy stuff too, right? They wanted there to be another staged riot. I said that even before they even arrived here, and we were calling so much of the planned like acting scenarios. Like we called it all out. Like every single thing that we said that was gonna happen, that they've done in other like scenarios, they did it. And same thing, that there's also riot and crisis actors that are in Europe as we speak now too, and lying about how things are going. Even border stuff in the U.S., like there are crisis actors that are repeatedly used, families, the children included, to make things appear to be worse than what they are. And they always target certain groups of people to publicize tragic events during periods of time where speakers are more like that, like they're trying to change narratives, like gun control, pandemic response, all these things. And yeah, it blows my mind that we have people that are in our government that actually plan and stage atrocities in order, like they politicize it, and they use us. They use us. And yeah, anyway, on that note, I hope that everyone likes the new hairdo and has a really wonderful day.